podcast about community with entrepreneurs who create spaces for it to thrive. I'm your host, Ashley Chonka, and I'm excited to share with you the voices of those who do the everyday work of building community. Today with me is Sunny Promyotin, band leader of Sunny and the Black Pack and content creator. Hi Sunny, it's great to see you today.
It's really good to see you too, Ashley. Really good.
I'm so happy that you agreed to do this. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess first and foremost, the primary thing that I do is music. I'm a musician. I'm an artist. I am more than ever before. I guess I'm now a vocalist. I started really my musical endeavors as a pianist. That was my first interest in music, but somehow through the journey and the long black hole that music sucks you into, I've now transformed more into a ukulelist, if that's what you call it, a vocalist and producer of music, and now I'm kind of just I'm just a content creator. I'm just somebody who makes things, whether it's music or video content or streaming games. That's kind of where I ended up at. Is now I'm primarily just creating content of any sort, of any kind that has to do with creativity, and trying to bring my message and a little piece of me to the world, whatever way I can. So yeah, I started. I used to live in Thailand. I was born and raised in a little town called Monterey, California, but I moved when I was like about 20 something. I can't even remember because it was so long ago. I wouldn't even say the exact date, but I moved over to Thailand, and I lived there for 10 years. While I was there, I started a record label, and it was called Black Media Company Limited. And we had some very exclusive, very wonderful reggae, pop, hip hop artists that we got to work with, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. But I was always working behind the desk. I was never on stage, and the most I was on stage was I was directing shows and things like that. But I wasn't a performer. I produced a lot of music, worked with a lot of people. But in Thailand, that's what the focus was behind the scenes, and I loved it. It was wonderful. But then I made the decision to move over to back to San Francisco because I found my wife. We got married, and she's from the city. She's from San Francisco. And moving back, I was like, well, what am I going to do? I've come back. Am I going to keep pursuing production or something like that? I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to move into the limelight maybe, and move out from behind the curtain to in front of the curtain. And it's been a journey ever since. Let me tell you, it's been pretty wild, going from producing music to being the person that is now more in the spotlight is kind of a crazy thing. I never imagined I would be a singer ever. I that was not, like, never dreamed of it. Like, never thought, I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to be a vocalist. I thought maybe I perform, I play some music, but like now it's like singing is at the forefront, and it's a little wild. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, from 0 to 100 real quick. And now we're here. So, and it's been pretty fantastic to make this journey so far.
Wow. I'm just mind blown, like thinking about a time where you didn't think that you would be a musician, because it seems so natural to you. For the ukulele, like you're like a shredder. Okay, I've never seen anyone do that to a ukulele before, and I just like throw up my hands every time. I can't believe he did it again.
That means a lot to me, Ashley. I really appreciate that so much on so many levels. You know how much I appreciate you and what you are to us. You are so family, and like, for you to have asked me to be a part of this podcast is just so wonderful, already. But like beyond this, like you're such a pinnacle foundation of what we are, and I can't even imagine what these last 2 years of our lives would have looked like without you in them. I really can't. Like, you're such a staple. You're such an important part of our morning wood show. You're an important part of our performances on TikTok, and anywhere we perform, you're there and you're supporting us. And it's literally because of people like you that I have continued my journey and fought so hard, even when things get rough, I look to you. I 100% do. Like, please know that, like, I hear your voice. I 100% hear your words. You know, can I just say this real quick? I don't want to go off topic here, but like,
Go for it.
dude, like, you know that picture that you shared of me and my words on your board?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, do you have any idea how much that affects me on a daily basis?
No idea, man. I totally
Dude,
thought you forgot about it.
are you crazy? Dude, no way. Do you know how much I think of that picture? Like, I would say probably once every few days. I'm not even
Wow.
joking, dude. Like, you have to understand, like, that was an important moment for me when you did that. You told me that I affect you. That's what you did, you know, and it's like, it fills me up so much to think of that image. It's an image that I use as I literally as an anchor, as something, as a moment when I need to think about, you know, when I question, like, okay, what move am I going to make next strategically? What am I going to do next as far as like furthering our path and our career as a family, as a band, as a musician, as Sunny, right? I I need to think about certain things that help motivate me. And I have a lot of things that we can talk about, but just know that that one single image that you have is something that rings so loudly in my head. And it's has been ever since you posted it, because it really does speak to me, and it tells me so loudly that I can affect people, and not just people, you're beautiful people, Ashley. So like, it really tells me that I can affect the right kind of people that I want to affect. So I to me, from me to you, I thank you so much. You know, really, I really do. Like, so much, Ashley. You have no idea. Like, just know that forever, please, please.
It's in the heart forever.
Me too. Me too.
Oh
100%.
my gosh, that one's would hurt so much. And for reference, the photo of the board has a quote of Sunny saying, "Own your poop and love yourself." You know, things like what you just said, that's like the entire reason I'm doing this podcast, you know, is to lift up the voices of people like you who are creating these communities where people can thrive just by connecting with each other and knowing that they're not the only person out there that might enjoy or feel a certain thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so, on to my next question, which is, what do you wish you knew when you first decided to pursue being a musician full time?
Yeah, you know, I think the answer to this question, I think a lot of people would have so much to say about, you know, what they wish they knew. Um, and for me, I'll be honest, like, I knew the mountain that I was about to climb. You know, when I first decided that, like, hey, I'm gonna do this, I knew very clearly how large this mountain was gonna be. And the first thing I did was I sat down once I decided that I seriously wanted it. I sat down and I wrote down all the things that I thought would be the the biggest hurdles that I would need to fight. I actually still have the list. It's a note saved from my old Palm device. That's right.
Whoa.
Yeah, straight up. I still have it. It's a list of all the things that I knew would be an issue, and that I would need to fight and I would need to be prepared for. So, um, and then, like, going through the motions and having gone from where I was when I started to where I am now, I would say there's actually not a lot that I feel like I wish I knew. Now there are a lot of things that, you know, I wished that I had more experience with, you know, and that I maybe like had some more knowledge on little things, you know, like how to do this and how to navigate that. But like, I didn't have those kind of reservations and feelings in the very beginning where I had this massive fear. I felt like I was going to be okay. And having gone through all that, I don't have any information. I don't have this one single nugget. It's like, I wish I knew this. I just don't. And I know it sounds kind of odd. I would think, even looking back at myself, I would be like, oh yeah, I have all this knowledge to offer. I do have knowledge to offer, but it's not in the form of saying that, yes, I wish I had known this before I had gone in, because everything I learned, that I did end up learning, I learned it through the natural process in which I believe I was supposed to learn it. And so if I could go back in time and travel and be like, hey, gifting you this knowledge, Sunny, now you will win this so well. I don't have that. Like, the reason why I have this knowledge is because I went through it, and I like, I went through the turmoil of it and survived it. And so I feel like it's not something I would want to gift to myself as knowledge. It's rather, I would just want to know that, it's something that I'm going to have to deal with, but like nothing in the sense of feeling like I would have an advantage by knowing it beforehand, because the experience of going through it was so precious and absolutely invaluable. There's nothing like going through what I went through to get to where I am. So I don't know if that makes sense or it sounds weird, but that's just how I see it, my perspective on it. So.
Wow. I love your perspective on this.
Thank
Because
you.
it's totally not what I was expecting at all. And that's totally what this is about.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
My next question is, what does the word community mean to you?
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is a big word. We look at it, and again, I think it's almost trivial. I think people see it as a word that's like a buzzword and taken for granted for what it is now. I think people say the word community and it means, I don't know. I don't think it has the weight that it's supposed to have anymore. But I think it's a really serious word and shouldn't be neglected for the value that it is. Like, to put it simply, and very straightforward, community to me is family. Family is at the basis and the root of everything that we are. Everything. We spend so much time, and especially in America, I think that we have this vision of like learning how to be independent, learning how to be strong and be on your own and stand on your own 2 feet. Wow, that's so important and so critical. I get it. No, I'm not discounting the importance of learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. But do we emphasize enough the importance of being able to stand on your own 2 feet while standing next to other people? I don't think we do. I really don't think we do. You want to talk about things that I learned, along the way, right? We're back to your other question you're asking before. One of the biggest lessons I learned in this endeavor and doing what I do now is you can't do it alone. You can't. Like, as much as you want to dream and as much as you want to say, as much as you want to like pretend, you can't do this. Can't do it alone. Just take this, for example. This is me and you, Ashley. I can't do this without you. You can't do this without me right now. Mm-hmm. This is a very, and like we're together right now doing what we're doing. We're together right now, right? Because of community. And it's so freaking important, but we don't put enough emphasis on this word. We don't put enough on family. We put more on, I'm an independent, I'm an independent mofo, I'm hella good, I'm hella Gucci, I'm independent and strong as hell. Yeah, no, you're not. People are not, and they need to be able to trust other people. They need people to work with people. Like, that's what business is. That's what community is. So you got to be able to work with other people. You got to have relationships with people, not necessarily romantic, but you got to have relationships with people. And that gets just like, I love that you're underlining. I love that your podcast, I love that this entire project you're doing revolves around community. Like, there is absolute kismet in the reason why we are talking right now. I love that you are going after what I believe is so important and missing. It's the missing element in so many of these people's lives. Like you look out there, you see these stars, these people with millions and millions of followers, and they're sitting there at the top, right? They're sitting at the top of their food chain. And like, I've got all these followers, but man, there's no sense of community anywhere. There's no sense of community. They're not leading anything. They're literally just out leading themselves and hoping that people follow. Well, they've done a good job of getting a bunch of followers, but they don't have a community. And like, you want to know how to judge a person, you want to know how to judge a creator, you want to know how to judge a celebrity, yo, take a look at their community. That's that. You want to talk about judging. I mean, you can tell so much about a community and how strong their community is, right? And not just their numbers, not just how much they vote or like something, but the camaraderie and the family ship between each other. That is how you can tell whether somebody is doing the right thing or the wrong thing, at least in my eyes. Now, maybe this is not everybody's vision. Maybe not everybody believes this. Maybe not everybody thinks this. But over the years of experience that I've put into this, this is where I'm at. I 100% feel that community is family. And you've got to treat it like a family. If you don't treat it like a family, you treat it like a community, right? Like some of these other people do, you're going to get those kind of results. You'll have those kind of community feelings, right? But if you treat it like a family, your community will be like a family. But that means pouring love, means pouring time, means pouring effort, and it means pouring honesty of wanting to help the other people, wanting to like bring them up in their lives, not just in their like social media endeavors or things like that, but like in who they are as people. Like you have to treat them like they're your family. And if you treat them like their family, what do you want for your family, right? You want the best for your family, right? Well, do you want the best for your community? If you do, right, that's going to happen. But if you don't focus and you don't think about wanting the best for your community, you just think about what you can get from your community, what you can extract from your community, then that's exactly what you're going to be left with something that eventually dries up. But it's like any flower or any crop, any fruit, right? It just doesn't grow. Fruits don't just sprout out of the earth for no reason. They sprout because there is some kind of nurturing from somewhere, right? Whether it's from the gods above raining in the rain that it does, or from a person nurturing it themselves. To get the best fruit out of any product, right, is to require nurture on some level. And the same with the community. And I very much tie community in with family immediately. When you say those words, like, I don't hear community anymore, I hear family. And it's so weird, like, for me, when I say that, it's a little odd because I come from a place where I am not a believer of internet friendships. I'm not that guy. I'm not that, when I wasn't that guy. And I still am not that guy to some degree. I don't believe like, okay, you can meet people on the internet and just, become like the best friends in the whole world. I believe it is kind of on the slope side of not really being a reality. But this community thing has changed that outlook. And I see that it is very possible. I still don't think it's as rampant and as what's the word, like, gratuitous as people make it. I think it's a lot more select and a lot more finite than people say, because I believe people are just like, oh, you can just make friends with anybody on the internet and it's all good. I don't believe that, no. But I do believe now more than ever that you can find very great and amazing people through community building on the internet. It can happen. And it's real. It's not to be mistaken or taken for granted. But it's so funny coming from me, because I like, that's just not my style. Like, I'm all about meeting people in real life. Mike, like, I'm this is not my style usually, but I see it now more than ever that is a possibility.
So. Oh, we're like witnessing it right now. Isn't that so beautiful?
It is very beautiful. It is so, I mean, it's so like, it's breathtaking to me, to be here talking to you. Like, when you posted that photo, back to this photo, when you posted that photo, I knew from that moment that we were going to be friends. And look at where the hell we are right now. This is so wild, dude. Like, it's such a wild, like, cycle. Like, from that moment, I was like, okay. I was like, this is it. Like, she's one of the ones. She's gonna be one of the ones that, like, I don't know whether it's a year from now or 6 months from now, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be having a conversation that is gonna be much more real than just me going, yeah, tap that screen. I knew it was going to be much more than that, as it has been and has become with so many people in our family, in our community. It's literally magic.
Poof.
Abracadabra, right? Did you just snort? Did you snort again?
No, I went poof.
Yeah, I heard that.
I was like, did I really just do that?
Yeah, you did. You did. It was great. It was great.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Ooh, I could feel my heart going right now from all the laughter.
It's wonderful. Hey, like, laughter cures, laughter cures.
It really does. It does.
Indeed.
So, with community meaning family to you, how do you connect with that yourself?
Like, how do I connect with the actual members in my community? Oh, wow.
Yes.
I think fortunately for us, we've been really blessed. So I think a lot of people don't have the platforms that we do. Of course, we have the like, our main platform for, like, reaching out and connecting to new people is obviously going to be our something like our TikTok performances and live performances through music. I think that is a wonderful way to connect for sure. But, like, we have a secret weapon, and of course, we have our Discord community, which is just fantastic. It's a really, really precious place that I'm nuts about. And, like, I'm not in there every second speaking, but I'm in there every second watching. So I am very much on guard at all times, watching everything that goes on, because I want to protect, what we have. So that's a really wonderful place, and we're blessed there. But I think that, like, for us, our secret weapon is really funny. It's really turned on to this whole thing. Like, it all started back really with our gaming streams. Like, let's just get it out there right now. Okay, we suck at games. Let's just get it off. Let's just get it out there right now. Like, you want to watch some really poor gameplay and terrible, like, decisions, strategic, like, planning, making, and gaming. Like, come watch our stream. That's where you're gonna find it. It's terrible. We're horrible gamers. We're horrible. I'm terrible Mario Maker. I'm not a good race car driver. I tried
I was
motorcycle
just
driving.
remembering.
I don't even talk about it. I tried motorcycle driving. All I did was crash, like, over and over again.
You want to watch Sunny game? You'll see him sliding around in the wet pavement when he's supposed to be racing a motorcycle.
Don't even talk about it. It's not even funny. Like, is that what
it's
you
hilarious.
Want? Is that what you look, maybe that's what floats your boat, is seeing a guy crash across the freaking pavement and slide 500 feet. That's fine. If that's your thing, come watch us. But that's not why people come watch us, and that's not why we end up doing what we do. It started a while back with gaming, when we're doing League of Legends, and, like, we were terrible at the game. We were absolute noobs and beginners. I'll admit, I've gotten a little better now. I've got some skills going on now, but it's still not like pro level, and it's not streamer pro level. But that's besides the point. What we ended up building was camaraderie and dialogue. It was a place for us to chat with our people, and it was really the prime. We were priming our viewership. We were priming our community to learn who the hell we really were. And we played these games, but we didn't play them like other streamers do. We didn't game them, like, competitively like they do. We just used it as a platform to talk to people. And ironically, the issues that would come up through our gaming, they would be so much about life. So much that so the game that we played was League of Legends, right? So much of life would come up in these battles and these team fights. We coined the words League of Life. Because everything that we did in the game related to everything that we did in real life. So whether people knew it or not, like subliminally almost, dare I say, like these ideas that we were perpetuating, these things that we were thinking as a family, because I would play with my other family mates. I would play with Kristen and Jake and Eric, and we would play together, and we would have team issues all the time. But all those team issues, you could relate them back to who we were as people, not our mechanics in the game, not our ability to like click this button. That was so secondary, it didn't even matter. We were terrible at the game, but we could bring home wins when we played together well. Teamwork, right? Family at the end of the day. So all this stuff, the stream, this game stream was paving the way to really the platform that we have now, which is now Morningwood. It's a show where we can shoot the kapupas. I don't know what that means, but we just kind of shoot the kapupas for the first like hour, maybe 45 minutes, sometimes too long. We hang out, we review everybody's selfies that they posted in Discord and discuss them because we have a good time just looking at everybody and seeing everybody, bringing them closer into our lives, getting a peek into everybody's life. So, we do this show where we talk about stuff, shoot the kapupas. I don't know what that is, but then, and then afterwards we do this thing where we call it spin the wheel, and everyone in our Discord who wants to submit a question gets to submit a question in this section called Question Roulette. And we spin the wheel, and if we land on your name on the wheel, we discuss your questions, whether it's like, what is the meaning of love? What is the meaning of life? What was your most embarrassing moment? Or really sometimes extremely unbelievably deep questions. Very often, very, very deep questions. And we've been doing that for the past, I don't even know how long, but it just seems like a part of our life. And like this secret weapon of ours, like I think is this real secret to what's really brought in the last year, last 9 months or however long we've been doing it, has really brought our community together to the strongest it's ever been. Because we're doing what? We're doing something that no one ever does. We're doing something where we are discussing really real things with people that we care about. And we're getting to know them on a level that people in real life don't even get to do. Because we take the time to ask the question. I now know so many people's answers to questions that their best friends, their family don't even know and have never heard the answers to. And that's because we're taking the time to just ask the question to each other and also to the people in chat. And then people in chat are continuing the conversations. I know, I'm not stupid. I know what's up. I know people leave our chat and they go and they talk about it themselves. I know they have reference talks. I know they go like, oh, so what'd you think about the thing in Morningwood? That was crazy. People text me and they message me about it all the time. They're like, so I had this family conversation, hey, Sunny, I just want to let you know, I asked this question to my mom the other day, and it would like change my life. I had the most beautiful message come in yesterday. It was about 4 pages long, telling me about how Morningwood and what we do has affected their lives and the life of the relationship they have with their mother. I almost broke down and cried like a little child. I could not believe it. And so that to me is kind of our secret weapon right now, as far as really building community. Do we build community from performing music? Sure we do. Like, of course, but like, Morningwood, this show, like it's so real. And I'm very frank on the show. I'm like completely out of my bubble. And like, I like, I cuss up a storm. I have a terrible mouth. I am dirty as can be. My innuendos are horrible, but like, it's just what I do and who I am. And it's real. So like, and that's the thing that I vowed most that I would bring to the show is I would not hide who I am or what I am, because I'm fearful that someone's going to judge me. Yeah. So when I talk about community and building and my tools, like that, I think we're really lucky that we have something like that where we can connect with our viewers the way that we do. Like, so, and that's a lot. So I know friends who have been friends for 25 years and never ask each other the questions that we get to ask each other on Morningwood. It's not about agreeing on the answers. It's not about that. It's not about you being like, yes, it's the same. I have the same answers. It's about just giving the opportunity and space to answer the question. So in that way, I feel very blessed. I feel the most blessed by that show, and it's funny, like the viewership on that show, we get about like a peak of like 60, 70, 80 people, and our float is probably, concurrent is probably around 40 to 50 people. And it's so weird because like we have our TikTok shows where they have, our peaks of our highest we've ever had was 12,000 people in the room. And it's insane, and then we have concurrence of anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000. Our low dip is now at like 1,200 people, 1,000 people minimum. And like, I love doing the Morningwood show. I love doing the morning. My favorite show to do is Morningwood. Like, yeah, like I never want to stop playing music, and I love music the most. And I mean, I love it so much. But if I had to choose, like that, Morningwood all the way.
What?
Yeah, if I had to choose one show, it'd be like just so easy. I'd be like, oh, that's it. If I don't have time for one show, I'd definitely be Morningwood. So 100%. The music can live on without being like, it can live in solitude by myself, and I could play music as long as I had like my family to play music with. I'd be very happy. I wouldn't feel discontent, like not being able to share the music with the world. I'd be like, okay, well, that, it sucks, I can't do that anymore. But what I do with Morningwood, this is what we're really meant to do. This is the real thing. The music is just a platform, it's a medium to get us out there, but Morningwood is where we really are. And it's not like we're not bringing wisdom, we're not bringing like epiphanies to people. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is bringing the question. We're bringing the question for them to ask themselves. The answer is not what we bring. That's what you bring. So we just want to inspire people. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so wonderful, like how you can open up the conversation, because everything's so divided in so many ways that we're like afraid of talking to each other as people, just because we're like afraid of what someone else might think or stepping on toes. But with Morningwood, it's just, here's the question, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And you get to learn so much about each other and all the different ways that people live, but still live by that, do no harm, love other people philosophy, but still think a lot differently on a lot of other things.
Yeah. You are hitting it on the absolute head when you say what you said about, really opening up the topic and letting people just exist with it and sit with it. It's not about, I think that even our own members, our family, we had it today where we had a very seemed like a normal, not crazy question, but really was very deep. It was a very deep question. And we had some of our own family, like being Jake and Kristen. They both struggled to immediately answer the question. It's not like they knew exactly what they wanted to say right away, and like that was totally and completely okay. Working through the question was the point. It was not about, hey, give me the answer and tell me this and be right. I don't care. I don't care about that. But what I care is about taking the steps to walk through it and think about it and give yourself the opportunity to consider this question, because you may have never considered it before. And like, you're so right when you say like people are so worried about what other people think, right? This is the killer. It's not even the people themselves, shutting people down. It's people shutting themselves down. We are so critical of ourselves. I just dealt with it again, with another situation. A friend of mine called me and was like, oh yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you for so long and want to talk to everybody and this and that and that. But like, I'm, basically came down to just being embarrassed of judgment. It's like, man, we're friends, we're family. Like, who cares? Who cares about that judgment? Who cares? Like, everyone just wants to know how you're doing. Everyone wants to know like what you're doing, and if you're okay. Nobody gives a hoot. What is right or wrong here? That's not even the agenda. But because of the fear, it stops the communication. Because of the fear of prejudice, But we're so beyond that, at least with us anyway. I know that it's not true. That's not necessarily true with everybody else, but I know a lot of people are. I know a lot of people definitely have that prejudice, and they're going to judge them, and they're going to change the way that they treat them. but it's like, it's like, that's not where the love is based on. So, but you're absolutely right. I hear you 100%.
Thank you. So when it comes to music, do you have any advice for aspiring musicians?
Yeah, I got a ton. Probably you can't even stop me with how much I have to tell. Look, I'll make it pretty simple. No matter what, no matter what is said, no matter what happens to you, no matter what you experience, my advice, my most important advice here is to not stop, and is to always know that you can do this. Because along the way, you're going to meet a lot of people who tell you you can't. You're going to meet teachers. You're going to meet other musicians who you may respect and love. You're going to meet other musicians who suck a lot. You're going to meet people who don't know what they're talking about, people who do know what they're talking about, and they're going to tell you at one point in time, they're going to tell you, don't do this. You stink. They're going to tell you not to keep going on this journey. And I'm telling you right now, do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. There have been a couple times when I might have misstepped and might have listened a little too much, and it held me back and stopped me from moving forward in time. Now, luckily, it was temporary, and the better part of myself came strong and was able to listen to the real me. But man, it's so easy. It's so easy when your best friend or your loved ones, your family is telling you stop, like you're never going to be able to do this, or stop, don't keep playing, or stop, you don't sound good, or stop, your voice is too gritty, too raspy, and it doesn't sound like an angel. It's going to happen. It happened to me. I get it every day. I get people, as many people as they like our stuff. We get trolls, and I get people come onto my Facebook reels or TikTok and leave things like horrible singer, never quit your day job. And but you have to know that you got to keep going, and don't let that be the destruction of what's beautiful. Eventually, you can get there, and you will get there. It'll take time. It takes practice. It takes hard work. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's easy for people, but regardless, no matter how easy it was for you to get there, do not listen. Do not listen to them. And most importantly of all, don't listen to yourself when you tell yourself to stop. You're the one.
Boom.
You're the one. It's not the other people, right? It's not the other people that are really going to kill you. It's not the other people that are really going to destroy you. It's you. You're the one who will ultimately be responsible for you not trying the things that you should have tried. What, you think you can't play ukulele? Oh, you're wrong. You think you can't play? You think you can't sing? You're wrong. You think you're tone deaf? I guarantee you're wrong. I've seen it. People come to me, they're like, I'm tone deaf. There's no way I could sing. It's impossible. Guess what? They were wrong. Anything is possible, but you have to believe first and foremost that it is. We spend our time thinking 99% of the things we do is not possible. Really. It's just only the things that we do. That's just the 1% that we just already know how to do. Imagine if we took on everything that we think, that we literally thought we couldn't do, and we just tried consistently. It would be insane. Do you know how many instruments I play? I play almost everything out there. And if I don't play, if I can pick it up within a couple minutes and learn, not because I'm musically talented, no, it's because I ain't scared to sound like a duck. Straight up, I don't care. For the first 5 minutes, I picked up, I played my saxophone in I don't know, 10 years or something like that. Picked it up the other day, started playing, started jamming out. By tomorrow, if I sit down and play it, I'll kill it. I know I'll kill it.
I want to see you with the saxophone.
It's coming. It's coming. That's what I'm preparing for. I'm preparing to bring it on stream. I just got to figure out the mic issues, but that's what's going to happen. So,
Yo,
secret.
you think the kazoo is wild. Wait until Sunny comes on with a freaking sax.
Yeah, wait for the saxophone. Oh, excuse me, saxophone. Yeah. wait till I bring that. I'll be off the hook.
You're not wrong.
But that's what it is. And if I had that mentality where I'm just like, no, I can't do it, I can't play. It sounds like, and when I first picked it up, it sounded horrible because it's like I haven't played it in like a billion years. You know, it's like I'm sitting there honking. It's like literally I sound like a duck. It's like, you know, but like I sit there for like 5-10 minutes and it starts getting better. I'm like, okay, cool. But if I was a little beezy, you know, and scared, well, I guess what would happen? I'd pick it up and I'd stop, and I'd roll that saxophone right back into its case, and I'd tuck it right back where it came from, and I wouldn't touch it again. But I ain't scared. I don't care at all. And you can judge me all you want.
I think that's so important, though, what you're saying about not being afraid to sound like a duck.
Yeah. You know, quack,
That's
quack.
so much fun saying that.
It's so real, though. It's so real. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn, right, to do it better. And you can, but you got to believe that you can. You really do.
For my last question, what do you do when it gets tough being a musician?
Oh, man. That's pretty easy. I just recenter and I focus on the very thing that motivates me the most, which is my family. It's like, it's so, I remember when I was 16 and I was blind and I could not see the value of my family because I couldn't see the value of myself. And it was very hard for me to live. So hard that I didn't want to live sometimes. And I know exactly what I didn't do. I was going through those hard times. I was feeling sad and I was feeling unmotivated. I didn't think of anything. I just thought about the pain. I just thought about how hurt I was. I just thought about how sad I was. Now it's so different. My go-to, like when things are going wrong and things are bad, what I think about is so fast. It's so easy. I just think about my family. I think about how lucky I am to have the people that I have in my life and how incredibly fortunate I am to have every single person in my life that I have. My friends, my good friends, my wife, my puppy, any of my family, being you guys. It's so easy for me. It's so easy for me to become recentered and refueled. I have the most infinite amount of fuel to keep being the best person that I can. And it's all in thoughts like your photo. And when I have a moment where I'm not unsure, you know, whether I should keep going and keep doing what I'm doing, I think about things like that. I think about your photo because I'm like, okay, I know that somewhere, somehow, I can inspire. And I know that inspiration will ultimately lead you to a better life that will somehow fully circle back to giving me a better life. Look at what we're doing right now, Ashley. Look at this.
I know.
What we're doing right now.
Right now, man, if you would have told me that I would be putting my voice out there on the airwaves, I mean, it's about you guys, obviously, but still just doing the act of it all and getting it all ready and learning how to build a website, man, let me tell you, the first time I looked at WordPress and I tried to build it, I walked away. I was like, what is this?
Yo, I checked it out. I've seen it all. I saw your story about Andy. I saw Trouble. I saw all that stuff on there. I mean, what you've done is real, and like you are more than that photo. You are now an image, you know, a beautiful painting, you know, that spans across my entire heart and mind in inspiration. So like congratulations, you've made it that much harder for me to ever quit.
Thank you for all of your insights today. For this last part here, I'd just like you to let our listeners know how they can find you and connect with you.
Sure. We are everywhere on the internet. We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and we're on Twitch and Instagram, whatever social media site that's major, you can pretty much find us. We go by a handle of Black Media Presents. It's like the color Black Media Presents. But if you just search Sunny and the Black Pack, for the most part, it should come up everywhere. Our biggest presence right now is on TikTok. We in the last 7 months, we've gained over 500,000 followers, and it's been quite a wild ride. So most of our main content gets posted there, but we're beginning to really steamroll some serious momentum on Facebook with our new Reels feature. It's been wild and really, really crazy. We have a presence, of course, on Twitch, where our main show, the Morningwood Show, lives. And most of our content on like things like Instagram and Reels, it's mostly music and humor, light stuff. The real show really happens on Twitch right now, on a channel called Black Media Family. And yeah, you can find us, just search us. You'll be able to find us everywhere. We have a Spotify, we got a YouTube, we got all that stuff, but find us where you find us, and you'll eventually get to where you need to be, to find us. It should be pretty straightforward on the Google. So
thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to add for our listeners?
I don't think I can give any stronger message than to please remember to love yourself. Like, whatever hardships you're going through, whatever tribunals, whatever trials, whatever you're trying to get, just don't forget to remember how much you love yourself, and if you don't love yourself, hey, take the time to try to figure out why you should. Really important. It has served me so well in my life, and it is the exact reason why I'm here right now talking to Ashley. If I didn't love myself, we would not be here. If I didn't love myself, I wouldn't have allowed myself to do the things that I had done to get to the place where we are right now. So just take that in stride and carry it with you in every stance, every walk, every step, and I guarantee you will live a better life.
In the words of Sunny, own your poop and love yourself.
Yes, that's exactly it. That's it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for having me. I cannot express to you enough how lucky I feel to be on your show, and I absolutely love you, and your words and you as the person that you are need to be seen. People need to know about you because you are beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Andy Special. Join me next week as I talk with Shayna Pratt, a realtor, about entrepreneurship while being a single mother, building community through the arts, and how helping others can turn into a competition. To be notified of new episodes, you can follow the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube if you would like to listen to the podcast with subtitles. You can connect on socials at the Andy Special. Until next time, my friend.